So in 2020, when things were going well, I had people reach out to me, both the ones I knew directly and some referred by friends, asked me to trade for them. And of course, remember this was immediately after lockdown. There were people who took loans from bank, but because of the lockdown and after lockdown, remember, um, lockdown was not totally lifted, it was relaxed in phases. So some businesses were not allowed to run. There were strict regulations on how to handle businesses that involve lots of people. So many businesses were not happening at this time. So there were several people who reached out to me to um, manage their funds for them. And of course, before this time, I do a few of it. In fact, until 2019 or until 2020, the only thing I was doing was trade by myself and train people. Only these two. Very seldom occasions that I will accept to trade for someone. So in 2020, when the lockdown happened, um, I accepted to trade for people. This was when we officially launched Nowa Savings and Investment Company, where I accepted funds from people to trade for them. And I was paying them very significant amount of returns per month. I was trading and doing all of these. As time went on, of course, this was also the same year that there were a lot of Forex investment platforms in Nigeria. Then something happened in November, 9th of November 2020. The broker I was trading with froze my account. And I have every proof. I have screenshots, I have videos, I have emails which happened within that time. I have all of them saved right now. So I reached out to in fact, they froze it from 8. 8 was a Sunday. When the market opened on Sunday night, I noticed that my account was frozen, and it was frozen till 9th by 4 p.m., which was Monday on the 9th. That was when the account was open. And that day there was a news on USD, and this pushed my account into huge loss. So before this time, I was paying my clients, and everything was going well. So when the account was frozen and finally opened, I was pushed into huge loss. I sent mails, everything I could do. The broker did not do anything about it. They refused to admit that the fault was from them. Now, they said that the fault is from my device, and I showed them evidence. My laptop, where MT4 was, every other app and software was functioning perfectly, but that account was hanging, like it was frozen. Nothing was happening. On my tablets, every other app and feature was working perfectly well, but MT4 was frozen. On my phone, every other app and feature was working perfectly well. Only MT4 was frozen. How do you explain that the fault is from me? How do you explain that the fault is from my device? They refuse to answer me. They refuse to continue. They refused to do anything for that situation. So the account was frozen. I lost a lot of money. And of course, losing lots of money, that a great part of it was investors' money. I started taking huge risks, trying to cover up for the loss. And at the end of the day, I lost the account. So I still reached back to the broker. Of course, it was on their platform. I told them, look, this is what has happened. I spoke with the country director. How can this be rectified? He said, okay, give me some time. I'm going to see how I'm going to help. I'm going to help you in this situation. 1 month passed, 2 months, the second month passed. At this period, these 2 months, I was now paying my clients from my personal money. So the 3rd month, I sent a mail to them, all my clients, told them, let's have a meeting where I explained everything that had happened, and I showed them all the evidence, told them what has happened, and I told them I won't be able to continue paying. They should give me some time. Let me try to refund the money. Now, the lesson I learned from this particular experience, this particular video, I call it the rise and fall of Nowa Savings and Investment Company. It's one of the, should I say, it's not one of, it's the most terrible thing that has happened to me, to my business. It threatened my existence. I received several calls, threats. I was arrested, detained, later released, lost trust. Everything went bad. But I was still able to stay alive. I had several thoughts of suicide. And if you can remember, if you've been following my channel, you remember, or you've been following this page, you remember I did a video where I talked about a trader losing lots of money, be arrested, is having thoughts of suicide and the rest. Many people say that I made it very real. That was true because I was actually telling my story. I think it was, okay, it's not the video of mine that got the highest number of views. I was actually telling my story because I experienced it personally. So what I learned so much about that thing is not to have all your funds in one broker. That's one thing I've learned from that experience, not to have all your funds in one broker. No matter how much you trust the broker, it doesn't matter whether the leadership of the broker is your sibling. It doesn't matter. As far as we're in Africa, you should know that we are endangered species, and I've explained this before. So I promised them, having lost all of this money, I promised my investors that I'm going to refund the money. I will say that I'm not certain though, but I can say I am one of the few Forex investment platforms that had issues in 2020, I think 2020 to 2021, that has accepted to refund the money to the client, of which I have started doing, and I have paid back a good number of people. It's not a pleasant experience. I know what it means. I know what it feels like to be working, making money, and sending it to people. Meanwhile, the money that you are trying to compensate for, you do not use it for yourself. It was due to whether it was technical issue, whether it was deliberate, whatever led to the broker freezing my accounts. I can't tell. They can't explain to you today. So I did not use the money to buy fancy cars. I did not use it to build house. I did not use it to buy land. If I did, I would have been in jail by now. That's the truth, because some people reported me to EFCC and there was no proof that I used the money on myself. It was proven that the money was lost in the process of the investment. So I just accepted that I'm going to bear the responsibility for that, and that's what I've done. So it's a terrible experience. It's something I wouldn't wish for anybody, not even my enemy, but it happened. So that's the rise and fall of Nowa Savings and Investment Company. We'll continue in the next video.